Hello and welcome. Today we're doing a Victoria's Secret Angel makeup tutorial circa 2008. I know you've seen these photos before. I think this is the look that you think of when you think of Victoria's Secret. But we're doing it on a budget, all drugstore, because in this economy. So if you want to see how to get that Victoria's Secret Angel makeup on a little bit more of a budget, this is for you. I've been so excited for this video. I have all my products in my little pink cowboy hat because why not? To prime the skin, I'm going to use the Revlon Illuminance Glow Filter. I used this for the first time at the end of last year and I love it. It's so beautiful. It's obviously been created to be a bit of a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, oh my god, I can't remember what it's called, the Glow. You guys know the one, because obviously those kind of products are really popular at the moment. I don't think that this is a dupe because the formula is quite different. I think the formula is a bit thinner, which I like. I actually prefer that to the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then I'm just tapping this in with a brush. For foundation, I've been torn between two. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint, and then this is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. The reason I'm choosing between the two, this one is like a light coverage, super glowy, natural skin. This one, especially with the glowy filter, it's still gonna look nice and luminous, but it's got more coverage. I feel like this one is giving more Victoria's Secret skin, but I'm super acne prone and I've got lots of like scarring and stuff at the moment, so I might use the True Match. But if you have relatively clear skin, I would definitely try the Maybelline Super Stay because this does still have really nice coverage, but will give you that more natural, glowy skin look. So two options, both really good depending on your needs. This is the shade 1.5N, I think. I like to apply my foundation with my finger first because otherwise I use way too much. It's so funny, I used to be one of those people who hated using my fingers when it came to makeup. Like I was like, fingers, absolutely not. But now I've seen the light. I'm not freelancing at the moment, but I think also because I used to do a lot of like makeup applications using my fingers, it was just easier not to, just for hygiene purposes. In my brain, I'm like, fingers, ugh, don't do it. And then I'm just taking the same brush I used to do the primer, just so everything blends really nicely. This is the Tennille J base brush from the Volume 1 collection. Oh, that duo together of the primer and the foundation is so beautiful. So in the Victoria's Secret 2008 show, the skin looks really bronzy and then they've got that nice flush on the cheek. So for bronzer, I'm using this one from Kind Collection. This is their complexion stick. This actually came in a pack of 3. I believe the pack for the it's a bronzer, a highlighter and a blush is $20. So for all 3, that's such a good price, but I'm just using the bronzer. But yeah, I don't know if this has a shade. Bronzed Kiss. If you go looking, you'll find it. But I'm gonna apply this straight to the face because it's nice and creamy, but not so pigmented that I have to worry about it going crazy all over my face. Right in that kind of hollow of my cheek there. I want it right across my forehead. Down my nose. And then along under my chin as well. And then just patting that in with a brush. I'm like patting this in circles because I feel like the bronzer is really blown out on the models. It's not super precise or anything. Their skin is like super bronzed. And then I'm going to do a bit of concealer. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour More Concealer. It looks like they've gone for a really bright under eye and T-zone. So this is the shade. Why can I not find the shade of anything today? I'm only going to use a little bit because this is quite pigmented. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Take my concealer brush and really work it into the bristles. I think this is going to be a better way to apply it because this is quite a full coverage, really brightening concealer, so I don't want it to look too heavy. Oh yeah, that's good. I know this looks kind of crazy, but they do have really bright under eyes. I think it was just a sign of the times. And then right up the sides of my nose. Okay, this is just an easy way to clean up the nose contour a little bit. A little bit on my chin. And then right in the center of the forehead as well. Now for the blush, everyone always talks about how they used a red blush rather than a pink blush to give that really natural flush. It is really hard to find a red drugstore blush. They're just really few and far between, so I'm gonna use a lipstick. This is the Rimmel, one of those like old, I've had this for so many years. This is the Rimmel Kate London 107 lipstick. She's had a full life. She's barely hanging on at this point. But I'm gonna do this on the back of my hand, really work it into my brush on the back of my hand, and then right on the apples of my cheeks, so right at the front here. That's actually a really beautiful color. Then setting the face with powders. For bronzer, I'm using the MCO Beauty Silky Smooth Bronzer. This was made you can kind of see the pattern. It was made as a dupe for the Physicians Formula Murmur. It's not something that's ever really been very accessible in Australia, so I'm actually glad that they've made this dupe because it's like near impossible to get. I'm just using a nice fluffy brush because again, we want things to look really like soft and blown out. And I'm just working that into the brush and then just setting everywhere we put that bronzer. I'm gonna set through the T-zone with powder. This is the MCO Beauty Invisible Matte powder. This is just a really nice translucent moment and it's not gonna make the skin look too crazy. Just right under the eye. We still need to add our highlighter, but we'll do that a little bit later. I think the skin just on its own so far is looking so nice. Ah, I love it. Okay, let's move on to the eye area. I'm gonna do brows. They actually have a relatively like full, damn, the traffic is so loud today, I'm so sorry. They have a relatively full filled in brow. Why is that so hard to say? Full and filled in brow. Not too laminated or anything, like a very classic, just brushed up and filled in. So I'm using my NYX micro brow pencil. This is one of my absolute favorite products in the entire world. I'm just going to put a line under my brow and then just start filling in the gaps really. Brows are definitely looking full. Take a little bit more of my concealer on the back of my hand and then just using a nice flat brush just to clean up the brow. Because we use such a brightening concealer as well, we're going to use that to prime the eye. It's going to make a really good base for this look that we're doing. And then just before I go into the actual eyeshadow of it all, I'm just going to set the brows with the NYX, the brow glue, just so that my brows stay in place. This is also honestly probably the best drugstore eyebrow gel on the market. Now for the fun part, the eyeshadow. I'm starting by taking the NYX Ultimate Vintage Jean Baby Palette. This has got all the perfect tones that we need because it's actually a really cool toned eye. But I'm starting by taking the matte white shade and using this color to set the lids where we put that concealer, just so things don't crease and go everywhere. Then with a fluffy shader brush, this is the Morphe Ariel A20. This is one of my favorite shader brushes. I'm then going to take this cool tone brown shadow, the one right next to the white, and we're really tapping this into the outer third of the eye. Not smoking it out too much, just into a nice little triangle in the outer corner. Taking that same shade and just running it in the inner third of the eye through the crease. In the inner third, we're kind of gonna run it in circles and then connect it into the nose contour. But it's kind of like a mini softer halo eye. And then either taking a liner brush or like a really itty bitty little shader brush. This is the Morphe Ariel A18. I'm gonna take this kind of medium dark brown shade, really coat my brush. We're running this color right along the lash line, all the way across the eye. Oh my god, sorry, I have to do this up close because I can't see otherwise. And then just really gently flicking it out of the end into like a soft barely there wing. Using your nail to just like flick it out is a really great option to make sure it's not super like intense. I'm just taking that first taupey brown shadow and running it right under the lash line. And it actually, to me, it looks like in the waterline, the color is a little bit shimmery as well. So I'm gonna take NYX again. NYX are all over the eyes, honestly. This is the NYX Jumbo Pencil. This is the white one, but it's the white shimmery one. Oh, Vanilla Ice Cream. Oh, that checks out. It's like a nice, like pearly, shimmery shade. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put that all through my waterlines. I need something a bit brighter, I think. So I'm going to take the original Jumbo white pencil and a little angle brush, and I'm going to pat this to the waterline. While we're at it, taking the Jumbo white pencil on a little flat shader brush, and then I'm just going to tap that into the inner corner. And they really do the inner corner and pull it up into the inner crease, so it's quite blown out. Yeah, this is good. It's just the base for the shimmer we're going to put on top, but it's just gonna make it look even more intense. Now for the shimmer, this is where it gets a little bit spicy. We're gonna start by using the NYX, the same NYX palette, this white shimmer, and I'm just pressing, I'm not rubbing. I don't want it to be super opaque. We want it to be that really speckled, sparkled, glittery moment. So I'm just lightly tapping with my finger and then just really lightly patting right up the center of my lid. And I'm doing it right up to my eyebrow. I'm taking that same shade in the inner corner on top of that matte white we just put down. I'm then taking the silver shadow and doing the same thing, really lightly patting that kind of on the sides, like not directly in the middle. This just gives the glitter a bit of dimension. I feel like it makes it pop more. Now, I actually think that's looking really good already, but I kind of want to kick it up a notch. This, to me, it's still technically drugstore. I got it off Amazon for like $5, so I think it kind of counts. It's like drugstore adjacent. This is the finding a brand is going to be difficult, I have a feeling. Yunhu. I was reading it upside down. It's like a wet looking glittery reflect moment. So I'm just going to take this, do some dots just to really top this with more sparkle. So that's the eye with the extra sparkle. For the lashes, I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes first. And then I'm using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara in the waterproof version. I love this. I always go for a waterproof mascara because for me, I just have really short, straight lashes, and if it's not waterproof, it's not gonna hold a curl. Without dipping my brush back into the tube, I'm then gonna do my bottom lashes. So just resting the brush on the lash and flicking away. Mascara on. We're looking pretty good, but I do think they had a little bit something extra going on in the eye, so I'm gonna add a few little individual lash clusters. These are from Shein. They were like $2 or $3 for the whole pack. I think I'm gonna do two 12mm on the edge of each eye and then a 10mm to just kind of blend everything together, and I think it's just gonna give the eye a little bit more fullness that it needs. So I need some tweezers. I really like the lash. It might be a little bit more intense than what they were wearing, but I think it looks really nice and I love this kind of lash. So I will say as well, the only thing with these lashes, if you are looking at getting them, they are really sensitive. So if you pull them up with the tweezers like the slight wrong angle or just a little bit too rough, they'll split in half or into thirds. So you might end up with some like individual lashes like I have on here, and like obviously it's still usable, it just can be a little bit more fiddly. But for the price of these, I'm willing to pay for like a little bit of breakage. But yeah, they look great on the eye, so it is what it is. To finish off with the lips, I'm going to use this lip liner from She Glam, the So Lippy lip liner. I don't know what shade it is, if I'm being completely honest with everybody. I think it might be called Concrete Jungle, but it's this nice like nudie brown, slightly on the cooler side. So I'm going to overline my lips just a little bit. And then smudge it out. So we don't want any really harsh lines. I'm then taking this L'Oreal lipstick in the shade 601. I'm gonna tap a little bit of this just with a finger. Sorry, I feel like I'm like flipping you off right now. And then for that really pearly, glossy reflect finish, I'm using the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Pearl. You can see in the light, it just catches white, which is really nice. Final step to finish, I'm just taking the eyeshadow palette that I've been using the whole time, taking that white shimmer again on a relatively fluffy brush, and then using this to highlight. They keep it quite high. On the nose, it's quite intense. And then to lock everything in place, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. This is basically hairspray for your face. Like once you apply this, your makeup's not going anywhere. Don't breathe in. That is the makeup basically done. Let me take my hair out and I'll show you the finished look. And that is the look all completed. I hope you enjoyed. This was really fun. I feel like the drugstore is not what the drugstore used to be. Like a lot of the launches at the drugstore these days are actually really, really good quality, and they're really similar to a lot of high-end products. So hopefully now you can try the Victoria's Secret makeup on a little bit more of a budget. And if I do say so myself, I think we're looking pretty good. Please let me know if there's any videos you want to see from me. I'm always open to ideas from you guys, whether it's tutorials or things you want me to try or trends you want me to try, literally anything, please let me know. And otherwise I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.